What's going on, everyone? Week 8 is done and dusted after Monday Night Football last night. Okay game. But let's go over each game, my impressions, and I want your guys' thoughts down in the comments. People seem to like this thing I got going on this football season, so I'd love to hear more from you guys down below in the comments. First off, Thursday Night Football. Are the Vikings frauds? Did Sam Darnold's 15 minutes end because they're losing games to teams they should not be losing to? Now, the Rams, when the Rams have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp both in the lineup, they're a different beast. Different beast. So they look good. They're starting to get healthy. They might be able to make some noise in the NFC West, but the Vikings might be frauds. Speaking of potential frauds, no, I'm kidding. I don't think the Ravens are frauds, but you cannot lose to the Browns. Sorry, you can't. Apparently, the Browns should have been starting Jameis Winston all along. And I know a lot of Browns said that after the first couple weeks of the season, like, get Watson out of there. And maybe that's what they needed. They were able to run the ball pretty effectively. Winston got the ball across the first down marker in some key spots, and they won. And I think the Ravens read the headlines that they were going to beat this team by 2-3 touchdowns, and that was a trap game for them, and they got trapped. But a division game should never be a trap game. So that's on them. The Lions are good. The Titans are not. That's really my analysis for that game. Jared Goff is slowly moving up the board for MVP. They're putting up massive points. They are beating teams they are supposed to beat, right? And you can only play who's in front of you in the NFL. And they're putting it to teams who they should be putting it to. They're not messing around. They looked really good. Apparently, in week 8 of the NFL season, your quarterback is allowed to walk off the field and say they're tired, basically, because that's what Anthony Richardson did for the Colts. That's not a good look. It's just not. Hey, I'm winded. You're a professional quarterback. You're the leader of that football team. It's just unacceptable. Now, the Texans are keeping games way too close for comfort, but they're winning most of them. They're still leading that division, which is weak. They don't look the same as last year. Now, I know Nico Collins has been out, so definitely that will change some things for them when he comes back. Joe Mixon is getting the job done there. He's keeping them in games, getting some big yards for them. But they need to find a way to come back around to that form they had last year. The Packers won again, and they won close. I think Jacksonville's starting to put some things together offensively, but it might be too little too late. I know we're only halfway through the season, but man, they lose games they just should not lose. But Green Bay got the job done on the road. They made it happen. Jordan Love, he did kind of get a little gimpy at one point in the game, but he came back in and everything looked okay. So hopefully he's healthy. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, they're just a good football team. I think that they're able to run the ball. They got a lot of good young receivers, and they got Jordan Love, who's a good quarterback. The Cardinals won again. Look, I live in Arizona. I'm not a Cardinals fan. I'm not from here originally. But I like it when the local team does well, except for against my team, like last week. They're 4-4 now in an NFC West that has San Francisco and everyone else, right? So if they continue to put things together, they could be in a wild card conversation. So that was a big win for them. Tua was back. He looked good. They still weren't able to get Tyreek. While Tyreek promised fantasy football owners a bunch of points, and that did not happen. I don't have him on my fantasy team, so I don't really care. I lost both my games anyway because I have trash fantasy teams. But they got to kind of get back, and maybe that wasn't going to happen in the first week. But they looked like a better football team. Obviously, with Tua, they're better. The Jets are done. Losing to the Patriots, who are clearly rebuilding with a rookie quarterback. First off, that's a big win for the Patriots. That's a big win for them. That's a bad loss for the Jets, right? You got all those pieces now, right? Rodgers got his boy, and they've lost 2 in a row. 2 games they should have won. They should have beat the Steelers last week. They should have beat the Patriots this week. You cannot lose those football games. They have zero margin for error now. And I'm not saying they have to win out, but they have to simply win football games that they're supposed to win. They're in a division that's kind of in flux right now. It's the Bills and everyone else, right? The Bills and everyone else in the AFC East. The Jets, I'm calling it right now. I think they're done. But again, it's only halfway through the season. But the way they've been playing has been terrible. The Chargers, my team, yay, we won, woo, and we looked pretty good doing it. The Saints are a dirty football team. That asshole defensive end tried to hurt our quarterback, and our center laid his ass out. And that guy, I can't remember his name because I don't care, is lucky that the other offensive lineman did not see what he was doing to Justin Herbert, and he deserved whatever ass kicking was coming his way. The Saints are a dirty football team. I lost all respect for them. I hope they lose every game for the rest of the football season. Sorry, Saints fans, your team's trash. Glad you lost. I hope you lose next week, too. Chargers look good. It's nice to get back to winning after a game we should have won last week. Right? We definitely should have beat the Cardinals last week. But we're back to winning. We're still in early wild card good situations, right? Which is nice to be a part of. The Bills are the Bills. The Bills win again. The Bills beat Seattle, who they should have beat. Geno Smith throws terrible interceptions in terrible times during football games, and the Bills capitalize on mistakes. They're a good football team. They might be the best football team in the league. Probably between them and the Ravens, I would say. But Josh Allen is Josh Allening. Him and Jared Goff have to be top 2 for MVP. If you have anyone else there, that's fine. You better be able to justify it, right? Because I think after this week, I think Derrick Henry, who I had at the top of the list, and even Lamar Jackson dropped down a peg, right? Because they did not look good against the Browns. So Josh Allen, Jared Goff for me kind of moved up. In probably the craziest ending to a football game that we've seen in a hot minute, the Bears had a game 1 and then a Hail Mary ended it. First off, what a throw. What a throw by Jay Daniels. And all you Bears fans, there was holding. Shut up. No, there wasn't. Stop it now. The Bears should have won that game. I love that it was the guy that was talking crap to the fans that missed the ball, and it lands in the dude's lap behind him. Great finish. The Commanders win again, man. They got something special going on there in the nation's capital. Good for them. The Broncos win. Whatever. I don't care. I still think Bo Nix is completely overrated. They beat up on a Panthers team. And the Panthers scored first in that game, I believe. And whatever. I think the Broncos have no business being in any sort of playoff conversation. I don't think they're a good football team. And yes, I'm biased. Completely biased. I just don't think they're good. The Chiefs win again, and they barely beat the Raiders. Okay, look, we need to have a conversation about Patrick Mahomes. Right? I thought he was going to come out like gangbusters this week and throw 4 touchdowns, prove the media wrong, but they win again, right? And that's the only stat that matters, right? Like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes cares about winning MVP, cares about throwing 50 touchdown passes. They're on a mission to win another Super Bowl. That's it, right? And they are still undefeated. They still get calls, right? They still step up big defensively in big spots. Now, the Raiders probably weren't equipped to come back and win that game, but they kept it close, and they looked way better than I thought they were. But those AFC West division games are always wonky, right? Like, I've been an AFC West fan forever. I mean, hell, I remember when Seattle was in the AFC West. So the Chiefs did what they had to do, and they got out of Las Vegas with a win. And I truly think that's all that team cares about. They don't care about stats, right? They just want to get out of there with a win. Cowboys lose again, and I know my Cowboy fans are going to say, well, we almost came back and won a game. If you almost came back and won a game, you would be undefeated this year. But guess what? You're not. You're not. You're, 3 games back now behind Washington? Not good. Not good. The 49ers looked good. Debo kind of got beat up a little bit. He still put up his numbers, but he kind of got beat up a little bit. So that was concerning. But Purdy did his thing. He looked good when he needed to look good. Didn't turn the ball over. They're still, I guess that McCaffrey's wait and see, right? Ayuk's done for the year, it looks like, but they're still able to keep on ticking. And I think a lot of that has to do with scheme. A lot of that has to do with Kyle Shanahan's coaching. So the 49ers looked real good. Real good. In a game that I thought was going to be bad, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. It was kind of middle of the road. The Steelers win. The Steelers did what they had to do, and they won another football game. They are 6-2. 6-2. And this is why the Ravens crapping the bed against the Browns completely matters. Completely matters. Because the Steelers win ugly football games. Right? They play ugly. They are ugly, not like the people, right? Right? But they win games. Again, they're very much like the Chiefs. They don't care about stats. They care about one thing and one thing only, and that's winning football games. And I've been critical of them this year, but hey, they keep on winning. Good for them. Good for them, right? I don't see them. Look, no one's going to go in and blow out Pittsburgh. It's just not going to happen. As long as they're at full strength, no one's blowing them out. So they look good doing it. They beat a Giants team that's not very good, but they beat who they had to beat, right? Unlike the Ravens, their division rival, who lost to the Browns, a team that they should have beat. So that's why it matters. But that's week 8, guys. What do you guys think? How did your team do? What are you expecting your team to do going forward? I really enjoy doing these videos for you guys. I get up early. It's 7:20 in the morning as I'm recording this here in Arizona. I absolutely love these videos. I hope you guys are loving them too. Give me feedback down in the comments about your team and about how I'm doing on these videos. Anything else you want to see? I know I don't throw a bunch of highlights at you guys because I know you all watch the games, right? And I figured just an open conversation, wheel and deal about what I think about each game, and I want to hear from you guys too. All right? Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.